Hi guys, today we are going to discuss about the various PLM strategies. Developing PLM strategies. If you want to develop a new PLM strategies in your organization, first you have to do the collecting information. That means you have to collect the various data of the product what you are going to develop. That means the historical data, the customer feedback, the source, that means where you are procuring the things and how we can able to reduce the cost and how we can able to reduce the time, how to increase the profit. So these are the basic information is required for these things. So after collecting the information, we have to develop a new strategy. That means what are the possible strategies are there, we have to see. After identifying the possible strategies, we have to select the appropriate strategy. That means which will work out, so which will consume more less time and which will consume less cost, and how much profit we can able to get out those things. So those things and all we have to see based on the selection. After the selection of your strategy, you have to communicate the selected strategy to your team member. So then only their team can able to plan the new strategy in the organization or in their respective area. So these are the way you have to develop a PLM strategy in an organization, or you have to develop in your software. And implementation of your PLM strategy. You should know how to achieve your PLM vision and objective. That means this objective is mainly the role of the CEO or their founders, and show how PLM resources will be organized and managed, as well as how we can able to use it effectively. So that you have to show to your top level management. So then only you can able to successfully implement your strategies in your organization, and describe the policies governing use and management of your PLM resources. So what are the different policies there in your company, so how it will be useful for you. So those things and all we have to work on, and make sure everybody knows about what's happening in the system. That means if a design person is they are doing some changes, the fabrication person should know. If that communication gap happen, huge amount of losses will be there in the failures of a product. Otherwise the wastage will be very more. So those things and all they should know, and make sure all resources are aligned in a straight direction. That means everything should be in a constrained streamlined flow. Otherwise the wastage will be very high. Otherwise it will consume more cost, and we cannot able to sell the product at the correct time, or it should not reach the product to the customer at the correct time. So these are the things we have to consider for your PLM strategies. And this is the link I gave it to you. Here the Siemens company, they developed a lot of strategies and they applied in various organizations. Those case studies we can able to see. For your easy understanding of PLM strategies, I brought some case studies. One crane company, how they are doing, as well as one golf company, how the PLM strategy they are using properly, or how they are very successful by the strategy you are going to see.
Siemens Team Center and the NX product line have been an integral part of Callaway Golf's innovation process. NX has given our designers the freedom to do things in terms of making designs that go beyond other CAD packages, and without Team Center to help maintain order, it's hard to imagine us being able to work as effectively or as quickly as we do without having those two products in place and working together.
Team Center is very, very important for our company. We can bring in our documents, we can bring in our specs, we can bring in our CAD files, we can bring in all this information from these external databases into one common place. People can work faster. They're looking at more reliable data, more up-to-date information. People are looking at the same information.
We actually have, quite a few different groups within Callaway that access Team Center. The space for proprietary golf club designs pretty competitive. The legal group accesses Team Center quite a bit to look at our CAD designs, and our advertising people get into it because they typically do photorealistic renderings of. So a lot of the advertising pictures that you see are actually photorealistic renderings from the CAD models. And then, of course, we have the normal research and development, product development type of people and program management groups that get in there. We also use it to release CAD models and translations and documents to our suppliers, most of whom are actually overseas. We do quite a few product launches every year. We have a lot of competitors. With the advancements in CMM technology, it's becoming increasingly difficult to stay ahead of copycats and people that do knockoffs on our products. And so we want to basically make sure that our suppliers are given only controlled access into the system.
It has streamlined the process incredibly. People can work faster. They know that they're sharing, the right information with suppliers, and everybody knows exactly what's going on. You can look at a snapshot of an item in Teamcenter. You know exactly what release date it's in, what suppliers have access to it.
We have a very small support staff for Teamcenter.
We've been able to use a lot of the features right out of the box.
Being able to spend more time on configuration as opposed to custom coding and doing a bunch of things like that means that down the road there's a greatly reduced amount of effort to migrate. Typically those kind of changes are handled by the upgrade programs themselves, by Siemens. The company went with NX and Teamcenter, and those capabilities and feature sets have contributed to Callaway's dominance in the golf marketplace in terms of performance and quality and all those things that make people want to buy our products.
The product offering for Konecranes is quite wide, from the very high volume electric chain hoists, hand winches, then to CTO type of products, and then to the fully ETO type customized cranes.
Primarily Teamcenter was started using by our R&D department in a lot of the businesses, so it was mostly mechanical engineering. And nowadays it's everybody from mechanical engineering, somewhat even concept engineering, all these designers, industrial designers are using. We have analysis people who are doing, for example, finite element analysis. Then we have electrical engineering, we have automation engineering.
So usually when we think about Teamcenter or NX, we think about the tool. But of course, what comes with the tools is the harmonized processes. So implementing a global PLM system to the different units in Konecranes also allows us at the same time to harmonize the way we conduct engineering. In addition to NX that we're using, we have then Autodesk Inventor, we have SolidWorks, and then from 2D side we have AutoCAD, and these are used throughout the different locations. So we have integrated all the mechanical CAD solutions to Teamcenter. And then on electrical CAD side, we are focusing on Zuken E3.
Also, supply side people like manufacturing engineering are working with Teamcenter. They are getting data from the actual design engineering departments and then leveraging that. Also for the supply, we are creating like manufacturing bill of materials in Teamcenter. For the service side, we are storing or managing our spare part kits, things like that with Teamcenter. And so we try to integrate all of our data in the single system and manage it in a single system.
It benefits like production engineering when they start building the manufacturing bill of material, but of course procurement. So purchasers are able to find the information, for example, related to all the commercial components in one place. Of course, then later in the life cycle, if there's a need to do modernization, we can find the complete crane structure.
We are now implementing Teamcenter product configurator. It's closer integration to our product data, and it offers more features compared to other product configurators, which are quite commonly ERP focused or supply focused. But when you transfer the configuration into, for example, ERP side, so then you lose a lot of the engineering data.
Now that we are closer to the engineering system, we only need to maintain one configuration model, so that reduces the work.
We use a rule stream. They configure the order in certain configured order product modules to produce manufacturing drawings and manufacturing bill of materials. Also, we are using RuleStream as a kind of component level a product configurator for our engineer-to-order products. So it's integrated with NX. It should produce, or it will produce, engineering drawings and engineering bill of materials. We don't need to spend so many hours on doing some certain customer requirement change, because if it's kind of standard change, but we know that these are the typical changes, so we have implemented those into our RuleStream engineer-to-order platform. So RuleStream can automate some of the engineering processes what we have, or at least take the tedious tasks away from the engineering side, and they can concentrate on the actual engineer-to-order parts, and that is brought to Active Workspace. So that allows a lot of people who are not engineering, so they are not familiar with necessarily with the PDM system, especially with Teams at the client. So Active Workspace is a much more intuitive interface for them.
Also, our service business is very happy to have the Active Workspace Google type search, so they can use the one field to search for all the different variations of the code. And then Active Workspace is widely used for finding the correct components. Service is very important part of Konecranes, and we want to make sure that we are able to service our customers well. So it's important that Teamcenter supports also service business.